Hi,
How are
Jon
you?
Golnik.
Good to see you.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, your office is in Westford?
It is in Westford. It's right off of exit 32. So it's a good location. And,
Oh,
you know,
I just saw that. Where is
it's
exit?
right by the Four Corners.
Oh,
so
that's
it's right on the
right.
corner,
Yep.
right off the corner of Route 110,
Yep.
which is great because, you know, 495 bisects the district. So
Right.
really you can get to the office from anywhere in the district in
Yep.
20, 30, well, depending
Yeah.
on any of the road work that's being done.
That's
Hopefully
great.
20 to 25 minutes.
What are you running? What are you running on?
You know, our,
What's the word I'm looking for?
well, one of the reasons that's driving me to run is that I feel we're not being listened to.
Yeah.
And we're finding that as we get out and about amongst the people. But our big issue are pocketbook issues. You know, we talk about, you know, someone said to us of the day, and Richard mentioned it earlier, what are the three top issues? For us, it's jobs, jobs, and jobs.
Right.
Not necessarily in that order. You know, there are programs out there renegotiating people's mortgages, but at the end of the day, look, if you're not working, it doesn't matter what your mortgage is, you're not paying it. If you're not working, chances are, you know, you don't have health care. So to us, jobs and job creation in the private sector, where jobs are sustainable.
Yeah. Do you find differences in different towns as far as unemployment goes?
You know, I find that, you know, the town is very diverse.
Yeah.
The district is very diverse.
Yeah.
It's 29 towns and cities,
Yeah.
And it goes all the way from...
You have 29 towns?
29
Gosh,
towns.
I didn't realize
That's right. 29 towns and cities, and it's up as far as Haverhill and Methuen. We come all the way out west to here, out to Shirley, out to Lancaster. We go down south to Stowe, and then over to Sudbury, two precincts in Wayland, and then we go back up. So it's big,
Yeah.
And it is diverse. I'm from Carlisle, so I like spending, you know, I'm very comfortable spending time down in the southern part of the district, but, you know, we have to go where our voters are. But, you know, unlike a lot of candidates, I think, you know, a lot of people say you have to go where your voters are. Currently, we're going everywhere, and we just go everywhere. We don't concede any town or any part of any town.
Good for you.
You know, I'm in Carlisle, which and Concord, which even in the most recent election that we had, didn't vote for Scott Brown. We spend a lot of time there, and you know, because I'm from Carlisle and because I've been involved in the sports programs there for a number of years, I like to think that as long as people's children weren't on any of my sports teams, I might have a good chance at getting their support. So we're very busy. We always tell everyone that we're not going to be outworked.
Right.
We don't plan to be. We've got a great group of people helping us in this journey, and we're very, very fortunate for that.
That's fantastic.
So it's good. It's been a great experience, you know, for a process that that's made a lot of people cynical. The process for me as a candidate has warmed my heart, and for every one bad experience I have 10 good ones.
That's
so
really,
it's really been
amazing.
a great experience.
Concord's got their 350th anniversary coming up.
That's right, coming up.
Same day as Grotonfest.
Well, we'll have to split our time. That won't be a problem. We love Groton. We came out and ate at Filio's the other night for my mom's birthday, so wonderful.
Have you been to Gibbet Hill?
Well, that's where we usually go, but we heard this was the other good place in town.
Wonderful.
It was wonderful.
Absolutely.
It was great.
Good for you. We've got a great little town here.
It's a great town.
Yeah.
It's just a great place.
Yeah. So, the economy. As I told Richard, I'm on the Economic Development Committee. We've got small businesses in Groton, but not a lot of diverse, you know, we've got gift shop and whatever. But how's in the towns that you go to, what are you seeing out there?
You know, we've done, in fact, we're currently on a business tour right now. We started off our campaign, we go on a Can You Hear Us Now tour. The first one took us to all 29 towns and cities in the district, going to coffee shops and diners. Then we went to commuter train stations. Now we're doing business tours. And the one thing that we're struck with when we talk to the small businesses is it's a very uncertain environment out there right now, an environment that's not conducive to hiring. Right. You know, we don't know what the ultimate cost of the health care legislation recently passed will be. We don't know if cap and trade is going to pass. We know that the Bush tax cuts will be rolling off. We don't really know. I mean, with this recent financial reform bill, I mean, we do know that there's increased regulation. I recognize that regulation is required sometimes, but at the end of the day, regulation, we know one thing about regulation, it increases the cost of doing business. That business, and that cost is not borne on the back of these business owners. They pass it down to the working men and women of the district. But there is a lot of uncertainty. But one thing that sticks out for us is a lot of these small businesses do not have access to capital. Especially a lot of the folks that I speak to who are involved in the construction industry. And there's plenty of projects that are on tap to start up in Devens, and they just can't get access to capital, which is ironic because, you know, a lot of these Wall Street firms certainly had access to capital when they got themselves in some trouble. So Wall Street thrives, yet Main Street continues to suffer. It's a problem, and you know, I think that we don't need to create a government bureaucracy to help increase lending. I think we can use the Small Business Administration, which is in existence now. I think we should increase the size of the loans that the SBA insures from $350,000 to $1 million. I mean, if we can get some capital to these small businesses, I think that you're going to see projects that'll begin, and that will create jobs. And then the buildings that they build will have businesses that will also create jobs. And I think this is the real problem that we have right now. Look, the only, again, I think the most sustainable jobs historically in this country, in this Commonwealth and in the district, have been jobs that have been created in the private sector. So that's what we focus on, and that's what we're talking about.
What has Nikki done right and wrong? She was here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I've met Representative Tsongas a few times. Look, I'll preface my comments with saying, look, I think that Representative Tsongas and I share similar goals. We want to help take the country to a better place, help meet the people of the district, meet their challenges. It's how we get there is what we differ on. I think that, you know, she has voted 98% of the time with the leadership in Washington, D.C. In a district that's 55% unenrolled voters, largely an independent district. I don't think there's been a lot of listening. As her voting record shows, I don't think there's been a lot of engagement or a lot of responsiveness. And I always tell people, I'm going to do all these things, but I have to show with my actions that I'm going to do that. So in a lot of ways, a campaign is a dress rehearsal, I think, for the type of legislator that you'll, or the type of elected representative you'll be. And I'm hoping that we're showing people that we're going to be all the things that we say we'll be.
You know, I was just going to say, when Scott Brown was elected, he gets to Washington, and all of a sudden I'm listening to Howie Carr, and I'm hearing people call in saying, well, he's really disappointing me. Does that, I mean, it seems like it happens to everybody that goes to D.C.
I think there's a lot of expectations, and high expectations when people go down to Washington, D.C., especially someone who is certainly was seen. I think people saw Scott Brown as a vehicle for their displeasure. People are very upset. And I think that they saw, they felt that they weren't being listened to about the health care legislation, and I think Scott Brown ran a fantastic campaign. But a lot of people, I think, saw his campaign as a vehicle in which they could express their displeasure with the direction of the country, but in particular with the direction of the health care. And I think that, look, people are no one's going to be happy 100% of the time. A lot of times people will say, oh, are you a Scott Brown Republican? You know, I always like to say I'm a Jon Golnik Republican. You know, the Republican is a big tent. We have a diversity of opinions, a diversity of interests. And I don't think you could put any of us in a room, or with anyone in any party, in the same group of party in a room, and they would agree with everything, you on everything. So, you know, Scott, I know, is working his hardest for the people of the Commonwealth. I think that he believes he is making the right decisions, things that are going to help people, and that's all you can really ask from a legislator, and he is very responsive. His constituent services is certainly taking a page out of Senator Kennedy's book. It's second to none. You know, the ink is still not is still wet on a lot of emails that are sent back. So I think he's doing a fine job.
Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having me.
Short.
Doesn't matter. I'll come back anytime you have me. You're a neighbor.
Absolutely.
You know, they asked me. They said to me when someone didn't know where Carlisle was, and they said, "Oh, do they grow apples there?" I said, "I think that's Groton." But anyway, thank you for having me.
It's nice to meet you, and good luck.
Thank you very much.
What's your website?
www.jongolnik.com. So it's JONGOLNIK.
Great.
Thank you very much. Thanks again. Thank you.
Thank you.